Good Sunday afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Garden State Premium on YouTube, Garden State Weather on Facebook, and Garden State WX on Twitter. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. And we have some snow now spreading in across southeastern New York and Pennsylvania. It's very light. Move this back here, and we're getting some NPing reports. We're using the latest software for Windows radar scope here at the station as well, and we're getting reports of either some snow or some graupel occurring this afternoon across northwestern New Jersey and around Allentown in Pennsylvania too, and up near Scranton and the Pocono area. Wilkes-Barre also reporting some light snow. This is ground clutter right here. And let me see if I can go up here to Binghamton. And I can. Let's see. And let's see what's going on here. Yeah, here comes the snow now across the Poconos here, and also building in around Williamsport and portions near Elmira and Binghamton this afternoon as well. This is all hydrometeorological. Actually, that's super reflectivity. Let's go down to precipitation type. Let's see, precipitation depiction. There we go. Let's see if this shows up. Yes. It's showing up now, and this is all in the form of snow, maybe a little wet snowflakes here or some graupel here in the pinks, but everybody else is showing as light snow. Taking a look at the simple water vapor channel this afternoon, we're finding our shortwave maxes here coming in just ahead and along this clipper system here, entering western Virginia, Pennsylvania, and into northwestern New Jersey and southeastern New York. Now here's the second clipper on its heels coming down from the upper Midwest, and our upper level low cut off here over New Mexico and Arizona. And this is on about a 50, 60, 70 knot wind at 500 millibars. Let's see, take off the composite radar and that. Take a look at streamlines, and you'll see, you can put the mouse back where it's supposed to be. Here is the disturbance now moving in, and you can see the water vapor channel here. This is not a lot of moisture in the atmosphere. When you get into these colors here, when you get into the blues, it's very dry. And when you get into the pinks, that's very little. And this is showing up nicely on the mesoscale analysis from the Storm Prediction Center. Here is our wave, our clipper here, entering Pennsylvania right now. We're still in a confluent flow and pretty dry air here, so anything that's coming down might just be flurries at this point. Then high pressure is building in behind it, and here's our second clipper coming into the upper Midwest right now. As we go through the next 6 hours, this is going to wash and fade out, as you can see it. Over the next 2, 4, 6 hours, going to kind of fade away, and we just wait for this clipper here to die further south, and we'll see what happens with that on Monday night and Tuesday morning. Okay, right now off the HRR model at 1 kilometer, we'll take a slice of the atmosphere here over southeastern New York, northeastern Pennsylvania, northwestern New Jersey into New York City, and see what the sounding looks like. And it's very dry air. The difference here in the dew point to the air temperature here means that it's going to be very dry, and the column is not saturated at all. And if we went into the evening hours here, probably by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, that's going to be out of here. But even if we went up till like 6 p.m., 7 p.m., let's do one more 7 p.m. here, do another slice here of the column. And again, not close to being even saturated here. Not. And the 18Z NAM model guidance came in at 1 kilometer here, and we're looking at Monday evening here at about 10 p.m. So let's draw another slice of the sounding here and see. We have a little bit more saturation here at 700 millibars down to about 800 millibars maybe, and then the atmosphere is just too dry. And if we move this further along, let's dial this back here. This is on Monday 2 a.m. That's gone. Let's go into Monday evening and Tuesday morning. That looks like nothing to me. This looks interesting on Tuesday morning here. Tuesday morning, a reinvigoration of something here. Let's check out the sounding and see what that looks like over the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area. And again, the column is a lot more saturated, so there's chances of precipitation in the form of wintry weather at this point. It looks like snow across New York City. Again, very, very light. We're probably talking about very little in the way of total accumulation. I'll get into that in just a moment. In fact, let's flip on over to that and do the total snow. And this would be over the period here until Wednesday. So you're seeing very little here, maybe 2/100ths of an inch in New York City, very little here in northwestern New Jersey, maybe a trace, a little bit more in the Poconos, and of course upstate New York having the most out of this at about 1, maybe 1.5 inches of snow here. This is a look at the model guidance's snow depth here off the NAM model guidance from 18Z this afternoon until, let's see, about Wednesday. Snow depth is not the snow that's falling from the sky, it's the amount of snow that's already on the ground or anticipated to be on the ground. And as you can see, very little here in northwestern New Jersey, New York City and south, nothing. And you'd have to get into the Poconos and upstate New York and into Interstate 84 here and in parts of Springfield, Mass. and Hartford, and even these totals look paltry. This is the amount of snow on the ground, not the amount of snow that's forecasted to fall. Again, briefly taking a look at the European model guidance's 500 millibar cyclonic vorticity, PVA and NVA here from the 12Z run. Nothing stands out to me spectacular here. And here comes more cold fronts in the Arctic stream or polar stream. And here comes the storm in question for Saturday. It's diving down to the base of the trough here, is becoming neutral and then negative, but all the PVA is out over the ocean, so you can forget about that. And here comes the next one for Monday night and Tuesday. We can get into this now. And that also doesn't look good. Way too much energy here coming in off of the Aleutian Islands and off the Pacific here. There's no strong height rises or ridging here. There's no strong blocking over Greenland here to slow anything down. So this speed pace is moving right along, and this takes it off the Florida coast and then out to sea. And then the pattern becomes zonal. Chances are waning here, folks. Just to make sure, we're checking out the European model guidance, the INCEPT GFS, the American guidance too, as well. Here comes that piece of vorticity at the bottom of the trough here off of the southeastern United States. So it's getting cold. There's no question about it. Even in Florida, it's cold. Places like northern and central Florida in the 40s and 50s this afternoon. So that's cold. And more cold is coming. And you're going to feel it too, all the way down to the Gulf Coast, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. But as this storm and vorticity maximum moves off the Jersey coast, or moves off the mid-Atlantic coast actually, and it's negatively tilted here, we can see this from northwest to southeast. We still don't have any blocking here. The ridge axis is wrong. We don't really have a strong ridge here, and we've got too many disturbances spinning around and mucking up the forecast here, and the flow is way too strong to sustain any kind of winter storm. Then another piece of energy, and this doesn't look good either, coming out of the Gulf and remaining in the Gulf, and then the pattern begins to change. Out on the West Coast, we start getting more troughiness developing off of the California coast and the northwestern Pacific here, and this leads to a warming trend in the east. So if this were to occur, and the GFS has taken this out to 15 days now, you can see a zonal flow here. This doesn't, this is not going to support anything except warm air transport. There might be PVA here and portions where it's mixing in with the warm air in the jet structure, and that could produce some wintry precipitation. But if you're looking for bona fide snowstorms, this picture doesn't look good. We'll do the precipitation and temperature type here for the next 15 days, first off the 12Z model guidance of the GFS. And what stands out to me the most here is that the storm in question on Saturday is going to produce more snow in Virginia and the Carolina Outer Banks than it will here, like nothing here. Just grazing the coast, and of course even offshore, even further than the earlier model guidance showed at 6Z, occurring over this area here, and into southern New England. And now the 12Z model guidance of the GFS has it further east. And then after that, well, things get interesting. And the interest peaks here because the atmosphere warms up. We're in a zonal flow. Isentropic lift leads to snow on the north side and ice on the south side of this through New York State, but rain in New Jersey. And the next fit and bit that comes around is going to be around the 15th day here, around February 8th. A strong Arctic high pressure centered over Hudson's Bay, Canada, and southeastern Canada. This is going to provide a northerly flow of air. It's going to be dry. It's going to be cold. Temperature is going to warm up in Florida, by the way. And they'll have their bouts of cold too coming in between. But what happens is we have this disturbance here in the plains, and this sets up a frontal wave. And outside of February 8th here, we have to have the high pressure move off the coast and this lift northward as a warm front. And a warm front over cold air means isentropic lift, and that means that something is probably going to pop here, but it's probably going to be after February 8th. And we're not sure exactly how much of that is going to be in the form of snow or rain or sleet at this time. Again, taking a look at the North Atlantic Ice Oscillation forecast from all model guidance. Now, the European model guidance is operational, goes out to February 3rd. Meanwhile, the NCEP model guidance goes out a little bit further here to like the 7th or so of February, and it is showing positive. The other model guidance, the GFS, is showing a negative signal right around the time where it's showing something across the Midwest to lift northeast with that isentropic lift event. This is too far out in the forecast for any kind of certainty with that. It's also showing the same kind of thing with the Arctic Ice Oscillation, tanking negative at the same time, which would produce some kind of blocking here. The GFS is seeing it, and the European ensemble mean is close to neutral, but not really there. So these are big question marks right here. The EPO, again, it's climbing. So in this situation here, the GFS is even much stronger with the climb than the European EPS mean. So this is a signal of something here on some of the model guidance, but we're not sure. This is not great, but it's something. And the PNA, no, this doesn't look good. So there's no solid ridge in the West Coast or in the Intermountain West actually to hold anything together here. So everything is very fast and transitory. So enjoy the little snow that is in the air or anything that touches cold surfaces, because I'm not seeing anything major happening here just yet. For Garden State Weather Premium on YouTube, Garden State Weather on Facebook, and Garden State WX on Twitter, you can follow, like us, and subscribe to us on all of those channels. I'm meteorologist Robert Smith. Stay warm, stay safe, enjoy your Sunday afternoon and evening.